Now, one of the great things about this router is that to set this up, you are going to have to be plugged into the internet or plugged into another router so that you are getting the internet access to get into the system to set this up the way that you want this to. After you get this set up the way that you want, you can use this as an access point. You can use it as a router itself. You can use it as a combination router. If you've got another Reyee router, you can push the button up here, the mesh button, and sync the two together. Or you can use this as a repeater. Now, I'm using this as a repeater, which means that I'm receiving a signal from my home router downstairs in my basement to this router, and it's receiving that signal and then sending it out to other devices that are going to be using specifically the Reyee. The instruction manual takes you through step by step, and then when you get the app on your phone, it's going to walk you through step by step. Easy peasy to get this thing up and going right out of the box within minutes. All right, so today we are taking a look at the Reyee AX6000 or the E6 home router. And this is a really beefy little unit here. I did review the AX3000, which is a super nice unit, and I'm actually using that unit today. And in that video of the AX3000, I showed you some of the speed tests and I showed you the distance tests. And we're going to do the same thing with this one, but I want to spend a little bit more time with the AX6000 and show you the app. Now, obviously, there are 8 antennas on here, so it's a multi-directional router, which is going to be able to pass through, they claim it's going to pass through 2 walls. I'm actually down here in my studio. I'm quite a distance from my home router, and I'm in a concrete room with a concrete floor, so we'll see how well those speeds are. Now, on the back side here, you can connect it directly to your router, and then you can also connect it to 4 different consoles or 4 different systems. Maybe it's going to be your gaming console, or it's going to be your laptop or a desktop, or anything that you want to have a direct connection to the router. You got 4 of them that you can do at the same time. Now, they claim that you can hook up to 512 different units to this, whether that's going to be your phone, your laptop, your desktop, your gaming consoles, your robot vacuums, and all your other Wi-Fi controlled devices, your app devices, can run right through this machine right here. So while I get this thing plugged in and booted up, check this out. The Reyee Wi-Fi 6 router has ultra-fast speeds of up to 5,952 megabytes per second. The processor is a 2.0 gigahertz quad-core 64-bit CPU, which is powerful enough to manage the most heavy, intensive traffic from gaming, streaming, and live streaming. It also has a priority gaming port, which means it's a dedicated gaming port on the Reyee E6 router, which automatically prioritizes any wired device that is connected to it. You have 8 front-end modules and 8 antennas with the enhanced signal transmission and reception to overcome multiple obstacles like walls and floors. The Wi-Fi QoS technology actually boosts your gaming experience and prioritizes your gaming traffic regardless of how many devices are connected to the router itself. Okay, so right now what we're looking at here is that I'm connected to Skinner 1. That Skinner 1 is going to be my Starlink router. And down in my available networks, you can see that I have an extension outside the house, and then I also have the Reyee SE1B. And that's what we're going to connect to today. So we click that, and then it's automatically going to connect. One of the first things that I want to do for you today is run a speed test on this. Now, I'm not going to go to speedtest.net because it's going to ask me to download their app. I don't want to download their app. I just want to do the speed test from the Google search. And right here, we can run that test and see what kind of download speeds we're getting. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go back to my Starlink router and see if that is any different. And we'll go back and we'll run that test again. That's pretty incredible right there. See what that test ran, 118 megabytes per second. We're going to go back to our Reyee one more time, and we'll run that test again, 118. So that was directly connected to the router. So we are getting the exact same speeds, a little bit faster. It's boosted the speed just a little bit, up to 125. Next, we're going to go over here to our desktop, and we're going to connect to it and see what kind of download speeds we get with it. So we're going to go to our speed test in Google and do the same exact test that we did with our phone. Now here we are getting about a 15 megabyte download speed. We're going to run that test one more time. Now we're getting 20 megabytes download, 22. All right, we are now connected to the Reyee. Going to run that exact same test to almost 90 megabytes per second download. So that is a huge, huge increase, and got an 86.0. Again, just like we did with the Starlink, we're going to run that test a second time. Just because. Second time we ran a 93.8. Okay, so next I want to take you into the router settings and show you what we can do with the Reyee router itself. So we're going to go to the Reyee app, and it's going to be right up on the top row, third one over. So it's going to show us that we are connected to the E6, and it's also going to show us the devices that are connected to the unit. And currently I only have my Galaxy S23 and my desktop connected to it. So in the settings part, we can run a speed test right here, and I don't think it's nearly as accurate as what we're going to get from Google or speedtest.net. You can see that it says that we're running 125 and or 150 even, and I don't think that that's accurate. I think that that's a little bit high in my personal opinion. Back out of that, you can do a diagnosis if you are having some issues with your router. You can optimize your router, and because this is brand new out of the box, there's no optimization that's going to be needed. And so there you go, just real quick with that optimization. You can reboot it from here. You got the LED that you can turn on from here, and that LED is going to be your power light, and then you can update your system. And we are already running the latest system. Okay, so when you click the scenario down in the bottom, you got a game turbo. I want you to notice the game turbo. What we can do here is that we can prioritize that by turning that on. We can also do a LOT Wi-Fi game. We're just going to leave things how they are because I think that we have a really good signal that's going on right now. We can click on the healthy mode and reduce the energy usage and the radiation control and things like that. We're just going to leave it on the eco mode because I think that that's just a perfect mode to be. So in the signal, you can tell that signal to either go through walls like I've got it set on. You can go to the normal mode or you can go to the eco mode. All right, so there's a quick look into the powerhouse of a Wi-Fi 6 Reyee router. I tell you what, if you are looking to boost your signal, if you are looking to extend your signal, one of these routers from Reyee is one that really needs to be on your list and seriously considered.